We are here in effect, just kicking something new. I don't know what we're at, who be doing what be going down, but which way what. I'm right here, right now, and I'll be here later when you go and check on this device. So if you want to be precise, just come feel nice. All flavors of spice. You want to feel enticed? Let's do that. But what I'm speaking on is just positive thoughts, straight up mind games, mind frames. 2020 has arrived, no complaints, right? We're gonna ball up, live through what we live, continue to strive through that obstacles they supposedly put in front of us or call by ourselves. We might be naming these things, but we envision where we're gonna go. We're gonna do this so hard. Like we all fall back, we all have ups and downs, we feel complaints, we have distractions from families and whatnot, or friends, partners, peers, social etiquette, distractions, but you stay focused on you. You do yours, you keep going for yours, man. Like some people have different, obviously, we got all sorts of different compasses, morals, engagement. A lot of people talk about money, talk about that's the key to success. Uh, to their living standard in showing of that. I mean, a lot of people give that away. I mean, and a lot of people are forced to talk about and even break down that trueness of that. Like, they say it's not all about that, but in reality it is. I mean, a lot of people, not to term it too hard and fast, but like people basing the whole, their whole time on this earth experience as from children to force them to, be educated and then go work as hard as you can for a minimal wage. Not, not too extreme, extensive in comparison to some that is what is out there, and then put together a meager life form, working 9 to 5, slaving for others. Like, I might be terming it in a different sort of complex ways, but like, it's my, it's just truth to what I say. I should probably slow down in a way. Think what I'm saying. I've just jumped on and like take time. I wish I could like open up other people if you want to join up. I don't know where I'm at or whatnot. I'll just double check into that. But you know what I'm saying? Like it's about uh you gotta understand what you want from life, where you are at. Obviously things change, in time, we mature, we come to different realizations, we go through different things with partners and people. So, um, you know, but and we're not all perfect. Like I'm right here, right now, doing my thing. But I know and I feel the projection I can make and keep going forward. So, appreciate to whoever was in here before chilling out. Take time. I'll probably chill for a little bit while, see what's going on. Um, Yeah, got that watermark of walking the street. Check that out. That's that Adidas boot and those things walking down the street. But as I always, I enter into chat rooms. It's peace to all who read this, man. Like that's how I engage with life. We have to be on a peaceful element. Like some people might find that strange, and they want to be assertive, aggressive, make fun of others, be on top of each other like that. But to me, I find that kind of insecure in ways, um, immature in ways, like discriminatory. In realization of relegation. Like, I mean, there's, it's still to say, I haven't grown up. I'm quite, young and whatnot. A lot of people go through different things at different stages, but I still need to provide for myself. That's one thing. I can't understand that I've got it all right, but I would like to have a child and be able to provide at least the living standard I experienced. considering from where my parents have come from, going, they've come from quite a large family. I think there was 11 kids in my mother's and maybe 8 in my father's, and I've come from a 4 sibling family, developing country into a first world nation. Great opportunity. Um, not to say that's all in that, because in breaking down those sentences, I'm trying to talk on the experiences of, people who give away their monetary thought of life. There's things, if you're to travel to India, people call sadhus, and they have obviously, you might see them as the people devoted to Shiva, wearing ash, in dreadlocks, um, basically just giving up all their thought of materialistic things. They may have had a mainstay career as an accountant or as a government job, but they realize through life they've just come to a perception where that they've, can see a different meaning to things, and they want to move in a different way. So they live off donations of people, um, just living and being with one, saying their penance every day, but maybe not saying penance is the thing, like the religious aspect or the spiritual aspect. Who knows which what? We got to try and find what's right for ourselves. But still, maybe I'm talking a little fast here, but I've just sort of thought I'd bring something up. I'm gonna definitely be trying to put some OBS material up. I just downloaded that. I know it's been around for a long time, and probably should have been in practice, but get some of those going. Open panels, would be love to do on them, and also a lot of beat making tutorials, no doubt. I'm just trying to get into the gist of it and learn how to work with it, in the sense that you are recording, and it's not live, so you need to be thinking about what you're saying as it's supposed to, where it'll be going. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's out there, you want to hop on, hop in, hop out. If not, cool. We're just gonna talk. Maybe what I should do, like, I don't mind. I'm just gonna chill out for a while and do what I do. But from prior, yeah, I might do that. From prior, I had a Marcus Garvey things that were out, but from prior stream, I was reading this book called Aboriginal Convicts. So, written by Christine Harmon. I don't know if you can all see that. It's a bit late there. I might put it up a bit. Just about, read the back of it. Bulldog and Mosquito, Aboriginal warriors from the Hawkesbury, were captured and sent to Norfolk Island following frontier skirmishes in New South Wales. Eventually, Bulldog seems to have made it home. Mosquito was transported to Van Diemen's Land, where he laboured as a convict servant. He never returned. Hohepa Te Umuroa was arrested near Wellington in 1846 with a group of Maori warriors. 5 of the men were transported to Van Diemen's Land, where Te Umuroa died in custody. More than 140 years later, his remains were carried home to New Zealand. Bowie Piet, a 26-year-old Khoisan soldier from the Cape Colony, was transported to Van Diemen's Land for desertion in 1842. After 3 years of convict labour, he died in Hobart General Hospital. These men are among 130 Aboriginal convicts who were transported to and within the Australian penal colonies. They lived, laboured, were punished, and died alongside other convicts, but until this groundbreaking book, their stories had largely been forgotten. Now that is a huge fact. Like, I will continue to. I'll break into that. But now, if you've just listened to that blurb, we've got a man. All in this time, I think people are quite well aware and unaware of these occurrences of history. Now, that's a Maori, Hopea Te Umuroa in 1846, deported to Van Diemen's Land, now known as Tasmania, which was a full and complete dedication to a jailing penal colony. Now you've also got Bowie Piet in 1842, 4 years prior, who is a Khoisan. So that is from the southern African region of the Cape Colony. This is amongst the traditional people of this land, the indigenous Aboriginals and all the blackbirds from the Northern Territory Islands. I mean, we'll go further into that, but that's just from the verse. Quite amazing to realise these facts, and so that's looking back on that. Now we're in 2020, 1946, 170 years ago. These atrocities were occurring, and it was a well-known thing. So I'll just open up. We'll go through a little bit. There were a few pictures here. I can show a couple of pictures of some people there. Obviously, to me, they look like, from glance, Maori warriors. You can see slight feathers and facial tattooing, and their clothing symbolizes that, most definitely. And then the man's wooden tribal weaponry. So here on this side where my finger is, William Duke visited Hopea Te Umuroa at the Hobart Penitentiary. This is the man I was referring to, that was deported from Wellington to Van Diemen's Land, and unfortunately passed away there, but died in custody. After 140 years, his remains were carried back to his homeland of New Zealand. Now, I'll just, let's see. I'll open up, I'll just read a couple pages here. Now we'll talk of New Zealand, chapter 3. This is the 16th chapter, the third part of New Zealand. In open rebellion. In the early 1840s, newly arriving Pākehā, which is actually the Maori term for European or white person, coveted the lush river valley extended east of the natural harbour at the bottom of New Zealand's North Island. Legend has it that the extensive valley was created when one or of two local taniwha, large mythological serpents of the Maori culture, unfurled its tail as it thrust south to escape the confines of the lake that contained it. Its maneuver created a passage to the ocean and freedom, and also formed the valley that Maori called Awakairangi, which translate as river of food from the sky. The heavily forested valley was home to a variety of plant and bird life that formed an integral part of the Maori diet, along with watercress, eels, and crayfish taken from the local waterways. Since the early decades of the 19th century, The valley had come under the jurisdiction of Ngata Toa Rangatira chief Te Ra Rauparaha. Te Rauparaha led his people on an arduous journey south of Kauai after the invasions of their former lands in 1820 during the bitterly contested musket wars. Forced from their lands by an invading army of 5,000 Maori warriors, by the end of their long journey, Ngati Toa dominated the west coast of the lower North Island. From here, they were strategically placed to take advantage of early European trade and to launch Taua war parties against South Island tribes. As the early decades of trade gave way to systematic colonization under the New Zealand Company, early European settlers at Port Nicholson remained the desirable river valley to the east of the nascent township of Wellington after its principal river, the Hutt. The waterway had been named after Oxbridge scholar and English politician Sir William Hutt, a founding member and director and chairman of the New Zealand Company. The Hutt Valley met all of the requirements specified in the instructions given to the company's principal agent, William Wakefield, to buy from local Maori 110,000 acres of flat, fertile land in the vicinity of the New Harbour settlement. In September 1839, Wakefield signed a deed for the purchase of Port Nicholson with Te Ati Awa, Rangatiras, Te Puni, and Te Warepauri. Wakefield was, during his early phase of colonization, living in one corner of a large stone house built by Te Puni and the Pa fortified village at Petone. The deed provided for 1/10 of the land and in the agreement to be set aside exclusively for Te Ati Awa. However, in this provision this provision was never honoured. On concluding the deal, the New Zealand Company believed that it had rights to the land and extending from the waterfront across to the Tararua Ranges, including the Hutt Valley. However, Wakefield was later informed by Ngata Toa that Te Ati Awa did not have the authority to enter into any agreements over the land in question. Rather, this was a prerogative of the Te Rauparaha and his nephew Te Rangihaita. Ostensibly, Te Rauparaha was a British ally. He signed the Treaty of Waitangi on 14 May 1840, along with other chiefs in the Wellington region. However, while the paramount chief may have accepted British sovereignty or at least some kind of formal relationship with the colonists, he did not see the treaty as providing the settlers with unlimited access to Maori land. Not long after signing the treaty, he built a large pa in Plympton to the north of Wellington and swore that he would prevent the settlers taking over Hutt Valley. In the meantime, another New Zealand Company settlement was being established at Nelson, at the top of the South Island. Like their lower North Island counterparts, the early South Island settlers located a fertile valley they designed for themselves. Surveyors began to intrude on the Wairau Valley. However, Te Rangihaeta obstructed the surveyors because settlement was vehemently opposed by the uncle and nephew who had interests in the land there. An armed encounter initially known as the Wairau Massacre, but now referred to as the Wairu Affray, took place in the South Island Valley on 17 June 1843, in what was the first armed conflict between Maori and Pākehā. After the conclusion of the Treaty of Waitangi, and the only battle of the New Zealand Wars to be fought on South Island soil, 22 of the British surveying party were killed. The 4 Maori who died during the conflict included Te Rangihaete's beloved wife, Te Rongo, and Te Parahara's daughter. Tensions between Maori and Pākehā escalated. Te Rauparaha unsuccessfully urged his Ngāti Awa neighbours further up the coast at Waikanai to attack the British settlement at Wellington. Early the following year, on 12 February 1844, the recently arrived Governor Robert Fitzroy, who famously captained Charles Darwin's ship the Beagle, met with Te Rauparaha and admitted the colonists were to blame for the conflict at Wairau. Te Rauparaha and Te Rangihaeta both accepted payments of £200 from Fitzroy in returning for waiving their rights to the Hutt Valley. Lacking insight into the complexities of Maori land ownership, the colonists assumed that overcoming Ngāti Toa, chiefly objections, cleared the major obstacles standing in the way of their taking over the valley, in keeping with the deal made with Te Ati Awa. As per the original agreement, local Maori were to retain some rights to the Pa sites and established cultivations. As part of the negotiations following Te Rauparaha's migration south, he reached agreements with Ngāti Rangitahi, a group of connections further up the North Island's west coast at Wanganui and Ngata Tama, that they could cultivate land in the Hutt Valley. They had since established villages in the valley where they also tended their vegetable plantations. Gradually, white settlers began to encroach on their lands. The first New Zealand Company colonists arrived in the Aurora in January 1840. They initially camped at a place known to Maori as Pite One, or the belly button of the earth, and called the new settlement Petone. The initial settlement flooded and was soon abandoned. Some colonists headed west to establish Wellington. Others migrated east up the Hutt Valley, and just a few stayed behind to farm England at Petone. When Edward Jerningham Wakefield, son of Edward Gibbon Wakefield, the principal advocate behind the New Zealand Company, toured New Zealand between 1839 and 1844, he visited the fledgling settlement at the Hutt. He described how, at high water, the ship's long boats and private cargo boats brought quantities of goods up to the owners' locations. The labourers and masters worked all together at the casks, bales, and other heavy things. The natives lent their willing aid, being very handy in the water, then returned either to a job at hut building or to hawk about their pigs and potatoes to which they brought in canoes to this quick market. Each settler had a small regiment of labourers from his own part of Britain, as well as native or two attached to them. As the colonial intrusion into the Hutt Valley progressed, a military presence was established to protect the early pioneers. A contingent of soldiers guarded the bridge the colonists had erected across the Hutt River, while the most advanced party of troops was stationed 2 miles distant at Bilcott's farm. 50 men from the 58th Regiment served there under Lieutenant G. H. Page, who, along with his servant, was lodged in a cottage of the property. Bulcott's barn was the centre of their defences and housed about half of the troops. A wooden stockade erected around the barn provided an outer defence system and was loopholed to allow the soldiers to fire their muskets at approaching enemies. The remainder were quartered in small slab huts and tents. The pioneer Joseph Belcourt cleared the land of his block down as far as the river. His back-breaking labour had seen the dense native bush give way to the grass, burn onto the tree stumps. His physical exertions, the farmer marked out his boundary roughly with the partially burned logs and stumps. His land has bordered on one side by the Hutt River and on one remaining 3 sides by dense forest, mostly the giant rimu and rata that dominated the landscape. A rough track through the bush connected Bulcott with other colonists, whose clearings peppered the landscape along the route to Wellington. Over time, initial dwellings built of uraupo and nicau palm, often with assistance of Maori and influenced by indigenous architecture, gave way to houses constructed of timber hewn from the bush and topped with shingle roofs. Alright, I'll take a break of that. I'll just check into the chat. Alright, I got Raiders Suck from Man Can a Dummy. I'm Nosy. He's checking out my shelves. OG, my brother. What do we got? Anyone is welcome to come on. I don't know how do you put, I don't think, is it impossible to put the link? How do you do that? You must be able to do that. You do this. It's my first time out. I'm gonna try and do this stuff. Learn how to get up and stream and get into it. Let's see if this works. Yeah, that's gonna work. So if anybody, now come on, Can a Dummy, if you really want to back up your comment and say that the Raiders suck, you could be joking. That's fine. Just press that link, my friend, and we can talk about it. I'd love to. You know what I mean? You don't have to, but it'd be pretty appreciated. It's pretty foolish to get on and just type a lot of detrimental things. Even Grandma Abka Nefa, man, much peace, much peace, much peace. That's it. Get on here and talk anything you like. I'm just here trying to, as I wrote in the description, opinion, intellect, respect, culture, life experience, mature debate and conversation. Well, it seems like we lost so let's see, I don't know, but yeah, either way it probably won't end up. I don't know what you found in the closet, my brother. It's probably not too much on this side. There's most clothes on the other side, but yeah, just a few general things in there. Bit of moisturizer, a couple books, a bit of. Oh, Huey, bro, get it up in there, man. Click that link, my brother. Much peace to that god, Huey P. He knows what's going on. The flavor is vibrant. I'm just trying to kick in for the 2020, brother, and do it right, man. I just felt vibrant. I wanted to try and figure something out. I figured it out. No one's jumped up yet, but I'm gonna give it a go. I've been in there 30 minutes, just read some book, trying to vibe off, talking to myself, some nonsense. But it's all good. It'll get better. Just gotta build and build. I got, you know, we got places to be, but in time too. As that great narrative of the hare and the tortoise goes. But yeah, much peace. If you got time, Huey, hit that link. Oh, Counter Dummy is backstage. Nice, nice, nice. I need to let beautiful. I got both my brothers backstage. How to do it? Add to the stream. Add to the stream. Welcome, my brothers.
What's up, great brother? How you doing, brother? Good to see you live.
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna try and be doing this for you know, get it mature, get it happening. I try to work out some OBS scrolling, but I'm still not there yet. But I just thought I'd do this. Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir.
How's it
Yes,
going?
sir. What's up, Plant Face? What's up, Plant Face?
Good to see you, Huey.
Oh,
Sunray.
it's Ken. It's Ken.
Yes, yes, yes. The rump. The
He comes
rumple.
through with like different names all day, my man. Nah, that's G. How are you,
Yeah,
brother?
The
gotta
man of
keep
many faces.
gotta keep it dynamic.
Yeah, man. Um, yeah. So he doesn't like the former Los Angeles Raiders. Or you just being jovial.
He said he don't like the former Los Angeles Raiders.
Yeah, I think he's just being jovial.
Yeah, they
They
ain't been
always
doing nothing. They ain't been doing nothing for a while.
But
hey
they're going to
Huey.
Las Vegas, eh? Go for it, Ken.
Hey Huey.
Yes, sir.
Huey, did New England win last night? I can't stand to watch New England.
I don't know. I didn't watch. I ain't watched football in like 3 years, bro. I haven't watched that nan game, no basketball, no football. I ain't watched nothing, no sports in like 3 years.
What were
Yeah,
they
it's all
on?
fixed.
Are they on the semi-finals of the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
They're on
Usually,
the first round of the playoffs, the
yeah,
wild card games.
true that. I remember when it gets to about end of January, uh, like the oh no, actually, yeah, when we start going back to high school, that's when they have the Super Bowl. It's not really very big over here. Who's your
What
team, Ken?
Oh, I don't know. For football, I used to like to watch the Giants because they're so fluky. See, the government here has runs the lotteries and they have a sports betting too, eh? So I can bet on up to 6 games on one ticket in all the sports: football, basketball, hockey, soccer, English soccer. So I can make a ticket.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I bought my land. I won a sports ticket.
Well, you motherfuckers hit the like. I got 4 people in here. We gotta get that
that
thumbs up
man said he
shit.
bought his land from hitting the sports ticket. I need a
Cool,
bitch.
brother. Appreciate
I
it.
need some money up there and bet with you. Shit.
How large was your property?
80 acres.
Okay, you could build a house.
It's a
Oh,
it's a half a mile by a quarter mile.
He got
congrats,
some
bro.
land.
Is it just empty at the moment, or what do you?
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man.
It's got it's a really diverse piece of property. There's lots of different kinds of trees and stuff there.
Is that
Shit,
where
what you
is that
doing
what
with
you're
it? That,
situated on at the moment?
No, I have a
No.
house
Okay.
in
Yeah.
town.
That'd be the beautiful wildlife, eh? Like, just it's untouched kind of wilderness in a way. Um, I'm just, excuse me, I'll better put my, I'm running around everywhere. Yeah, I'm new to this. Also, Huey, bro, I figured out, on that OBS how we can, well, I didn't completely, but I've seen how to channel the audio of trying to do, beat making programs. So that's cool. In a way, anyway. I
yeah,
like how to,
did you see Dojo's thing he did earlier?
oh, nah, not yet. Did he do a beat make or just some stream? I
Nah, he
missed
just
it.
did a little stream, just the way he got his OBS looking, man. He got that thing looking real good, running real good.
Dope. That's the
Yeah.
way, man. Got to keep at it. How about Ken, man? We want to see something from you when you feel like it, but only when you feel like it. Right?
You mean a video?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do it.
Oh, have you got a PC or you got a?
I have uploaded videos years ago, just from a tablet. I had a digital camera, and then I stuck the SD card in the tablet, and uploaded the videos.
Uh,
I suppose it would still work like that. I'm lazy.
let's just check for a bit. I'll just talk for a bit. Oh, that's where he was going. I was gonna. Maybe you can go from here and share a screen and do that. Why are you being lazy, brother?
I don't know, man. It's it seems like whenever I start trying to do something, something weird happens to shut me down.
So like, the laziness just. What's the word? Just like piles on top of each other. No? Or is it more just you just like couldn't be fun?
Yeah, it's like people put a lot of effort into stuff, and it's like they're spinning their wheels.
Oh, I see what you're saying, and then they get disappointed when it doesn't turn out. Is it, and they can be very demoralized and dissatisfied with the outcome. They put all their effort into it. I actually, I don't know if that's where you're going, but that's where I took it, and it was a bit,
And as far as work
during
goes,
times.
I've been on jobs where I'm working on this job, and I just say to myself, "This is bullshit," and I pack up my tools and I leave.
True that. Did you get paid for it?
Oh yeah, get paid by the hour.
So you just said, fuck it. I'm gonna leave, man.
Yeah. It's like the foreman would always give me the worst bullshit fucked up corner of the job to figure out, because he doesn't know what to do.
Why? Well, you know why? Because he knew it was a piece of shit job, and he was like, look, I've got better things to do. I'm gonna see if Ken, like, is able to cope with doing this shit. If he is, that's great. If he's not, then I'll try and find someone else. You reckon? Or no?
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it's just a thought I'm thinking straight off the top of it, I haven't really taken into account
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
logistics of the situation. Because he's the boss, well, not the boss, he's the higher employer. So he's your management. So as long as, because unless this fella owns the company or he's got someone to look up to as well.
Yeah, well, I'm a foreman too sometimes, and and I hate it because it's usually they'll put me on a job to take over from somebody else who fucked it up, and I have to figure
Oh,
everything out
okay. Yeah,
and do
right.
everything and get blamed for it at the same time.
Well, okay, see, I'm sure there's many, many, many different fields, but you're in the field of what, timber contracting or what?
Masonry. I lay bricks and
Mason,
stone.
right? Now, I'm just wondering, over the past, say, decade, has the curriculum and standard and, etiquette, how much has it changed? Like 10 years ago, did you require so many, um, write-offs and things, or did you, go through so many ins and little loops and things? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much has it changed? Is it much more intense, or?
The trade, you mean?
No, I'm just like wondering in the sense of like, because whenever I see traffic people like working, it's like one guy's digging a hole, but then they've got to have a supervisor for that guy. It's just pointless, you know what I mean? So I'm just wondering how has the trade changed? Has it become more friendly for the big businesses and their bottom line, or more friendly for the guy actually doing the hard work with the mason? I mean, with the stone.
Well, it's getting worse for the little guy, of course. But as far as the designs, how they design buildings, it's just garbage. Like the buildings are only designed for a 30-year use,
Wow,
like the post
really?
office building. So yeah,
That is disgusting. So what do they expect in
it,
30 years they'll bring it down or it's going to fall down?
I don't know. I guess it's not going to be Canada in 30 years. I don't know.
That's quite amazing. To spend 30 years
Yeah.
and then you think about like people go have a mortgage. That's like 30 to 50 years. So these people are buying a
So like
business.
all the money, all the money goes into, like, we just built this Museum of Human Rights, Canadian Museum of Human Rights in here in town, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, it's so it's a joke. Like, they built it on top of ancient grounds for the first thing. The
Wow.
building is fucked. The building is fucked.
Yeah.
It has sloped cavity walls, which is fucked. It's failing as we speak. There's going to be trees growing out of it, and water's going to get inside the walls, and I don't know. It's just, I can't believe it. And this thing is like, it's a albatross around our neck now. We're still paying for it, and the people who run it are just shysters.
It's an albatross. Nah, man, they are
Albatross.
shysters. They are fucking shysters. And you know what? They're gonna keep shysting until someone pulls them up. That's just end of the day. And if someone
Yeah.
pulls them up, they'll be like, all right, all right, all right, you pulled me up. So how about we just keep shysting and go 50-50 on it? You know what I mean? Shit like that happens, and it's pathetic.
Yeah, like you say, it is demoralizing.
In what sense? In what sense? How do you
Well,
mean?
yes, it's about human rights, but they tell us it's a human rights museum, but it's all about the opposite of just,
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
yeah.
it's all about the exploitation of fucking human rights. Kind of.
Yeah.
Not the. Yeah, that's very true. Have you visited it yet, or did it just open the other day?
No, it's been open for a few years, and no, I worked on it,
True.
and it was ridiculous. Just a stupid design, a useless building, and just bullshit inside with with the like Holocaust stuff. It's all about Jews.
Yeah. So what about it's good to see the Canadian effort. You know, because over there right now you'd be going through summertime, but it would be like kind of what's the? Well, see, I still don't know the differential. Um, shit, you'd be like, not. It's still cool, crisp wind, sun is out, but it's not overtly hot. So I can imagine it'd be about 20 degrees Celsius, summertime.
Yeah, here it's kind of mild out right now. It's morning, and it's mild. It's only about -5 Celsius, but it's getting windy and cold today. It's gonna snow and blow and get cold, so it's probably gonna be like
True. We've had
probably
fires
gonna be
over
like
in Australia. Actually, I
probably
better
gonna be
just
-20 tonight.
take a moment to, acknowledge the people that have gone through some pain or even lost life, gone through injury in this moments of fires we are experiencing on this continent. It's rampant at the moment. Like there's spreading over 3 to 4 states.
Yeah,
Um,
Sunray, those fires, they're just like the ones in California where the houses and cars are burning, but the trees aren't. It's the directed energy weapons. They're clearing a path for the world train.
wow. Maybe because there was there's this place called Kangaroo. I haven't looked into it. I've just been seeing a little every time. I don't watch news much, but when I turn it, it's all it was today. Like for a whole hour, they were just streaming on different areas. But supposedly, there's a place called Kangaroo Island. It's a touristy place, a little bit out, maybe 40 minutes off the coast of the mainland, just inhabited by like seals and certain kangaroos and things like this. But father and son who were driving on the highway supposedly got engulfed by flames. So that just points out to you a fact of it wasn't through bushland. It was just like they just got
Yeah,
caught.
they show some cars even get flipped on their roofs. The aluminum engine blocks are completely melted and they're running like rivers
But
on
I
the
can't
street.
imagine that actually. Boy, big shout out to Atlas, man. Come and jump and hit that stream if you want. But because the heat waves, when you look into some distance where, like, I don't know how much you experience it, but we experience it a lot. There's in arid zones, it's 40 degree or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, 40 degrees centigrade. So when you look into the distance, it's heat waves going on. So that's possibly 53 degrees. So if your car's going through that constantly and it's overturning, heating up itself by combusting, there's a chance it could blow up in itself. Just that I'm thinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because they're hotter. It's hotter than what you think out there in these really middle
Yeah.
of nowhere places. It gets to be
Well,
like
there's a
60.
couple of YouTube channels who cover this a lot. Richie from Boston and A Plain Truth, APLANE Truth, A Plain
Yeah.
Truth 4. And
Right.
yeah, he even shows the lasers coming from the sky. It's like laser beams. And there was one instance of a house. These new immigrants moved into this house. I think it was in Toronto. And I think they were Pakistani or something, but a whole family got torched. Like the front of the house looked almost fully intact, but the back of the house was completely gone. It was like those directed energy weapons that they actually consume. it's like they're harvesting the energy. Like everything was completely gone, no trace of anything. And that's what's happening there now with these directed energy weapons. So there's these cloaked craft all over the place. In the daytime and the nighttime, they're always up there everywhere. That's part of this control grid thing. And the Space Force that they're talking about is only 60 kilometers up. And it's a Space Force to the citizens are the enemy now.
Yeah.
But that's the war where the citizens are the enemy.
And it's kind of like, yeah, man, it's been going on, and now it is. It's weird, eh? Like, that narrative has always kind of been clear, but people don't realize it as much, so, like, they think, oh, yeah, we're all fine, but little do they realize they're peasants. Hey, look,
Livestock. We're livestock. It seems more and more when I go, like, even when I go to pay my telephone bill or I go to the store, it's like I'm not a customer. I'm just a piece of livestock being processed. That's how I feel more and more. They don't treat you like a customer. They treat you like, I don't know.
How's that sound coming through? Can you hear that?
Hey, sorry, I'm gonna go out. Put me back in. I had a phone call. I got to go out and come back in.
Okay.
Uh,
Did you hear that?
No.
No. You can see it though. It's not routed.
Yeah.
Alright, Huey, hang on. Huey dropping me in and out. Well, that was you, bro. Shit. Better stop sharing. I was fucking around. I'll get there. I'm learning it. It's not too hard. You just gotta figure out what's routed to what. So yeah, man. Much presence, much peace. Got a few people in here. Late night.
Sunray,
What?
is that
Yes, my brother.
StreamYard free?
It is for a certain amount of time, I think. Like, I think you can use 20 hours and then it's cost a certain amount. So this is my, like, literally first or second go. So I'd be among my second hour.
What do you have to do? Do you have to sign in or?
I think you just have to have Chrome. So, yeah, and get the app. Because I'm pretty sure, because, like, I mean, I was a pretty heavy Mac user. And then I just downloaded Chrome, and then now that I open Chrome, it comes with one of the apps that's down the bottom, and I just click on that, and then it's good to go. It just streams straight to YouTube. It's pretty, yeah. And I think there's another one soon. There's quite a few. You should do it, bro. But I'm not sure how capable it is from the phone. It's probably just the same. But yeah, a lot of people are doing it. And then, but yeah, eventually, I think Drop was mentioning today. He started paying the fee. So he's like, "Your motherfuckers better pay him. Don't pay." It's like, you know what he said? He's like, "You got that money you owe me? Better pay me slowly. Don't move too fast. I'll bust that ass."
Hey, Sunray,
Yo, brother,
I want to show you this thing I made
show it
out
to me.
of granite.
I can't see it because you've got your. Oh, is that it on the your avatar?
No, that's a picture in my yard.
Oh.
I made this thing out of granite.
Oh wow,
Need
it
some.
looks smooth, smooth. That's smooth, and that's really like deep complexion black. Granite's usually grayish. Very nice,
I have to
sparkly.
put a. I have to put a light on it.
Yeah, you should shed a light. Get your mobile phone, maybe it's got a flashlight. Or do whatever, but fuck, that looks good, man. That looks awesome, bro. Did he make it? I wonder where Huey's at. He's got a phone call. He'll be back.
See, it's a bird. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh wow. Yes, yes, I can see a beak and a facial feature.
And that's in the stone itself. That eye and everything is
That's
in the
quite
stone.
wow. And you just rounded it off and smooth. Wow, look at that. And then there's a golden texture towards the complete
See,
edge.
it's made out of 4 pieces of stone, and I cut them and glued it together.
Oh wow, good on you.
And then
Fuck.
I made a template to make all the pieces, and then I used an angle grinder with a diamond blade to cut the edges accurate.
Nice, man. That looks really good. How long did it take you to do?
Oh, a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
How long would it take to
So
set?
I
Or is
used
it?
epoxy.
Okay, yeah. Right. I don't know. I was just thinking like it wouldn't set. Imagine if it's set just on like rigid positioning and it just locked into place. But that's quite impossible. But how long does epoxy take? What, overnight or
It
a
was
couple of
five
hours?
minutes.
Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, that's good on you, man. Good. And are you just gonna keep it for a while? I reckon
Yeah,
that'd be worth some money. Is it level?
yeah, it's flat. Yeah, I
Like
laid it upside down on a piece of glass when I stuck it together to make it flat.
so that's like a that's like a fucking like a what do you call it? A coaster or a little,
Yeah, you
you know?
could put a hot pot on it or whatever, eh?
Yeah, man. Sell it for $75. Oh,
Yeah.
more. 150.
So anyway, there's this tile and marble shop, and they throw out these slabs of polished granite, eh, from leftovers from jobs.
Right.
And I
Oh
got a whole
wow.
bunch. I got a whole bunch of this stuff. I made an outdoor table with it. With
Ah,
yeah, it's kind of a rustic looking thing. It's like a concrete base with willow legs, and then like a slab of granite on the top.
how big is it? The table,
Eh, it's
like a
only
little
about
kind of coffee side table, not like a little book table or something.
yeah, it's like 3.5 feet by 2.5 feet, something like that.
Decent, man. That's actually like, and these are just from offcuts of granite. Like that's cool. Pretty. What's the word? Um, what's that word? Like you use things useful. You don't let it go to waste.
Yeah, I
Productive.
hate throwing
Productive.
stuff out. Yeah, I'll show you something else. What I grew in my yard.
True that. Now, boys and girls, make sure this was disclaimer, not for children. What's that?
It's like a stalk of angelica. It smells really nice.
Wow.
It looks like bamboo.
Yeah.
It's really light.
Have you got more of it? Or just one grown?
No, I have a bunch of it.
Decent. You can make some few things out of that. Is it common around Canada?
No,
No.
I ordered some herb seeds from a place. I got a whole bunch of different kind exotic herbs. I ordered the seeds in the mail, and I got the stuff planted around the yard. Medicinal stuff.
Yeah, see, like, just say, I mean, talking about that for a second, I mean, my experience with it has been quite minimal in the sense that I was introduced to cannabis quite early and I took it in really heavily. And by the time I was introduced to herbs, um, I smoked it and felt absolutely, really, very minimal to no effect. People were saying it was due to my tolerance and whatnot, but I'm just wondering, like, what do you have any opinion on that sort of thing? Will the distraction, if you are, will marijuana be a heavy distraction away from herbs and the effect?
No.
No? Okay.
I started smoking weed very early too, a long time before I got into growing this stuff, mint and stuff in my yard.
No, I'm talking about things like, say, that California poppy and um, what's it called, passion flower or cat's piss or all these things.
Oh, I was
I think
growing
we.
what do you call it? Morning glory. And I was eating the
Right.
flowers. It's a hallucinogen, morning glory flowers.
Wow. How did that go for you?
It was quite strange. It's like I knew I was feeling something. It's like I was just more aware somehow.
Yep. It must be
More aware of everything around,
dosages and things like that. Oops. I'm just trying to figure this out too. I'm gonna try and get onto. Oh, actually, got to see what's moving on there too. But see, now we split though. That's also very far behind. But it's going well. What's the time you got over there, brother? Must be about, let me guess, 9 o'clock. Nah, probably 7 p.m.
9:30.
Ooh, I said 9 o'clock. But a fool. So you're gonna go for the who you going for the Super Bowl?
Oh, I don't care.
You really don't
Check
care?
this bandura. Can you see it?
Oh, cool, man. You got some hella instruments, eh?
It's like a 12-string bass guitar with a harp on it. Here's the neck. I don't know if you can see the neck. It's not tuned. It's got 56 strings.
That's it, man. That sounds good. 32 strings all on one level, or like, are they
56.
56 all on one level? Like a harp?
No, it's like it's
Or
got the neck.
Yeah,
Can you see the neck?
okay. Yeah.
This neck part?
Yep.
It's got 12 bass strings on it.
See if I can give you a close up. Hang on. I'll try and put your thing on the close up. Oh wait, how do you do it? Okay.
It's a Ukrainian instrument.
What's it called again? A bulk A Bakalov. A Balklov.
It's called a bandura.
A Bandura. It's a Bandura. It's a
So this is
Bandura.
my nicotine vapor.
Oh, wow, dude. Do you reckon they're good for you or what?
Well, it's a lot cheaper than smoking.
Only thing I probably would be. Only thing that I just, not to be like be a fucking, I always play devil's advocate, but it's just like people haven't had the time to research vapes. You know what I mean? They say, oh, they're so much better than smoking, but in actuality, they don't know because nobody smoked vapes long enough to know the health fucking repercussions.
Yeah, they don't know, but I know I feel better,
Yeah,
and I got more money too.
that's good. I just, yeah. See, it probably is, and it's a, I just think that it would get deeper, being in the sense that it's a vapor, it's going to travel further inside the camera, And well, that's right, Drop was saying some shit, but like, yeah, I just think that it would like travel, you know what I mean? Like the steam would get deeper into the pores and cells of the skin. But Sir Drop was saying that he's seen some thing like blisters on your lungs from it. But I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, if you overdo it, I don't haul on it too much. I only use about 2 mils a day.
Of nicotine?
Yeah, the juice. You buy the juice,
Yep.
put it in there.
How much does that cost you?
Excuse me. For 30 mils, it's like $12, and 30 mils lasts me about 2 weeks.
That's really good. So in comparison to a cigarette packet, that's like half of it, isn't it?
Well, cigarettes here are almost $20 for a pack of 25. For cigarettes.
We've got. Do you guys have them heavily like taxed every 6 months? We have a tax go up, and like our regular brand, we used to have the common Benson Hedges, Dunhill, blah blah. They've all gone up to 25 for the 20 packet. The cheap brand ones now are like $21 for or $23 for a packet of 20. It's very
Yeah.
expensive here.
You know, Sunray, I left a comment on one of your videos, and your control system, like your security at the airport and your government and the way they handle Aboriginal people, it's exactly the same as it is here in Canada. Exactly.
Oh yeah,
It's
I mean,
it's the same.
I've said that kind of, and even the people, we got a really similar cultural kind of thing. Like we said that before too, but like with the British background, and also there's the element of the indigenous, and then the colonial growing up, building the community, the Indian people coming across. I know maybe it's not so much in that sense, but like,
Yeah, the way the people are treated and the false narrative is exactly the same. Like we have,
and
there's buildings here.
the legal system right here.
Yeah,
Keep going. So
like there's buildings here, old world buildings, mud flooded buildings, and like they were here everywhere, all over the country. They were already here before the colonists. Like that, some of these buildings, they look exactly the same as some buildings in South America, Australia, you know, Asia. So there was a whole culture, worldwide culture. How long ago it was, like 200 years or something, that's just been wiped out. And there's still, like with Notre Dame Cathedral and some buildings here, they're getting rid of the old, right? They're getting rid of the history. that all these cities are built on an old survey of the old world, and it's a false matrix.
Yeah, just hold on. That's like true. I'm just trying to set up. Keep going for the. But also, yeah. I mean, yeah. What is it like the? The people, man. It's very much like Australia's. I mean, Canada and Australia are very similar, but we are also very like Australia's. What's the population of Canada? Or
I think it's 35 million.
oh, okay, so it's quite similar. I think we've got about 27. I would have thought you would have had quite a lot more. And the year that it was founded,
1867.
okay, and before that, yeah, I suppose I should look into all that shit. But yeah. Oh, what about this story? You'd probably relate to this. I'm actually gonna I was hoping to drop an upload. I probably will now that I'm getting into this. Like I've got to edit it, but I saw a early '80s 60 Minutes documentary, absolutely horrific about like this. She was 11. No, she was 15 years old at the time of the interview in England. Her mother took her back from a divorced father relation, like the father and her divorce. The father took the daughter to live with the grandmother, his mother. He left. This girl at 11 years old, or prior to 11 years old, was involved in a satanic sexual cult. At 11, she got pregnant and was forced to eat part of her baby's fetus. It's fucking sick shit. So what got me onto that was I was looking for there was a case of the royal family going to Canada and they 10 children going missing from like a Inuit orphanage. Have you heard of that?
I did hear a little bit about that. Yeah.
It's quite popular here. Like,
Apparently, some of those royals, if they go to BC, they can be arrested
wow,
from like children that they took there or
they
something.
are
Like
liable. Yeah.
it's obviously it's not talked about, right, in the mainstream
Yeah, I
media.
mean, like, yeah, but it's. What year did it actually go? Because I'm quite interested in it, eh? Like, I mean, it's shocking news. It's fucking terrible. And these people might just pass away with all this shit,
Yeah,
like,
and that would be just one small thing that you hear about, right? That leaked out that these fuckers do, the
yeah.
royals.
Like, a lot of them, yeah, like, there was 10 children just went missing. Like they came there and played in the morning and had lunch, and then when they left, fucking 10 kids didn't come to the roll call. Or maybe, like, what the fuck? And this is just this one instance.
Yeah, there's lots of. They did it up until the 80s here. They called it I forget what the scoop. Like they took children from native people and put them in residential schools run by the church, and they just got abused and killed and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah,
Wow.
like
Do you have.
they're
Keep going.
sexually abused by priests and killed and just lived sick and miserable with tuberculosis. And yeah, it was just a horrible thing. It's like a cultural genocide, they call it. And that happened right into the 80s. And there are lots of native people who literally hate white people. Like there's some places I don't go because, you know, they see a white person, and that's in isolated places, you know. It's like sometimes I'd go out of town to a job. Like they build these schools on reserves and they got bulletproof windows and everything. So it's like I don't want to, would never think about going out into the community while I'm there working. You know what I mean? Can you hear me, Sunray?
Yeah, bro. Sorry, bro. Sorry. I was just looking at some rally thing. Um. Oh shit! Repeat what you said. I could hear you. It was clear. Um. The legislature. No, fuck the legislature. What about it? Have you been to Mexico?
I once, yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of that place?
My dad, when he was alive, he went down there every year for like 3 or 4 months. It's like he
Cool.
basically lived there for 3 or 4 months every winter with his wife.
Nice.
And like he would save money because, you know, he lived in
Yeah,
Edmonton,
yeah.
which is
Like,
cold, and he'd go down to Mexico for 3 or 4 months and actually save money.
I've heard it like once on the bus. I mean, I'm sure it's similar, but like I heard these two like gentlemen who are on welfare over talking, and he's like, just I'll paraphrase, but he's like, "Oh, did you see uh, Roger lately?" And he's like, "Nah, I heard he like." So what he does, he saves up his welfare money for 6 months, and then for three, or for the, or maybe for 3 months, 3 4 months, he saves it up, and then for 8 months he goes and lives in India or like some third world country where he can survive. It's cheap, like Mexico. You know what I mean? Like he could go down to Mexico and live with $1,000 for, you know, a good 3 months. I'm sure. What about the Canadian dollar to US? What's that about? Any idea?
I think maybe your dollar is about the same as ours. Our dollar now is
Right.
about 75 cents US per dollar.
Okay, here we go. Did you hear that, bro?
Shit.
glove, playing on the clarinet. No, I'm just saying. It's pretty weird. Go ahead, Cam, kick it. There we go. Ken was telling me something that I didn't know, so I had to find out which way he had to stream. He was living in Canada, and it was all cool, smoking on his grass, and he was high, but it was fine, and everybody had to come back and learn a new way to live. So they did, and then we got some granite out. We put four pieces together. He made a table. And it was I'm gonna fuck you and shit. That was pretty good. Here it is, the shit. Read upon the night. Was it on the saints when it's soft not to go up? And strum beats and my shores and I snap. Raise upon the mic, this something in the say. Come up on the beast and the river my way. What was that? Like that. Here it is. Give it up. You can see what you want. We are here. Say, Mama in the summer evening, she Sorry, bro, we're just jamming out. Play what you want, man. Get your Bandura out. That was bad. I wish I had some more, like, I can play keys and stuff. Oh, wait. There you go. No, I don't wish shit, man. It's gonna just fucking, I'm gonna do it. Can you play the keyboard, bro? Much?
A little bit, yeah. I took piano lessons when I was a kid.
Oh,
I don't have
wow.
a keyboard.
Oh, okay. So, but if you see one, what grade you get up to? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't know. It was like 3 or 4 only.
Oh yeah. I didn't take any. I wish I did, but I sort of like self-taught, but it's pretty dope. Piano is cool, like, but I'm not. Yeah, yeah. I'm just pretty basic with those majors and minors and shit. I understand like the inverteds and things like this, but when they get to like augmented, suspended, and these majors, like I can't. I don't. I'd like to understand it because that's when you get into those like sort of particular jazz chords and things. What's that? Your phone?
It's a keyboard on the phone.
Oh yeah, true. Nowadays, wow, wicked. See, nowadays you can do it all from there, man. It's awesome. You can compose a whole beat from your phone. That's attitude. Once there was a farmer. No shit. A farmer. Farmer named Ken. A farmer named Ken. He was living in a house. He wanted to have mushrooms. He couldn't. Have you had mushrooms? I've had so many mushrooms. It's not funny. We had mushroom tea. It was the best. I'm a bit of a fucking. Um, I like to experience things though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I've taken mushrooms, LSD.
Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan of the LSD as much as the mushroom though. But I've had some pretty nice, like, wild experiences. But I've never seen anything like physically how people say, "Oh, I see like lemmings walking around." I've never seen that shit off LSD. You know, so it's kind of
Yeah, to me, acid
just like
is it's
maybe
like
colors.
things look transparent from acid. It's like I don't know. It's almost like you see through the surface of things.
Yeah, the same. Like the colors become more vivid, eh? You know, that's what happened for me anyway. Have you had salvia?
Yes.
A lighter experience, eh?
Yeah. It was strange. Me and my
Yeah,
buddy
just kind
smoked some in his garage, and it was like
of the garage was coming in on
it's
top
like
of you, eh?
all of a sudden I started laughing, and it was like I was reaching behind me. It's like it was like it felt like there was somebody behind me, like I was in another realm.
Yeah,
It was really weird, but it was only like a few minutes.
cool, man.
Yeah, like I'm sure that opens up that there's people in this other realm, kind of. It's kind of like I could feel some kind of presence around.
Yeah, man. DMT especially. Not advocating, not condoning, just telling you some human experiences. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
I
Like
could
DM.
I
First
feel
time I
my
did
own
DMT,
DMT sometimes.
like
I
my
feel,
friend gave
feel
me we had some, because in Australia supposedly we've got this acacia wattle which has got very high potency extractable particular DMT. Now it was an orange crystal formation. Now he put some on top of a cone that I was going to smoke. Now he half covered it, and I had it, and he looked at me, and like, he goes, "Do you feel it?" No, I didn't really feel nothing. He goes, "I probably didn't have enough. It wasn't a dose." Then he fully covered it. It was about a millimeter thick. Then I had that, and boing! It was a beautiful, like, colorful trip, and just to me, I've explained this before to someone else, but it's like, there's the monkeys. I mean, not the monkeys. The clowns you see at the fair when you put a ball in it and you get points, and they keep going from left to right.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw those. And they were just spinning around, and like, also the primary colors become so vivid to me. The red, I mean the green, red, whatever the primary colors that you see on a TV, red, blue, and green, and it's like they just, oh, it was just going round and round and round, crazy like that for a while. I just sat there, everyone was watching me and shit. Pretty crazy. That's what I got. That was my most vivid experience of like a trip out.
I had something similar to that just from staying awake for like 3 days.
Oh yeah.
I stayed awake for about 3 days, and then I was just so exhausted. And before I went to sleep, I saw something like that. It was like ghost like. It was like skulls going around and around.
Whoa.
It's like dead spirits
Sleep
or something, and it
depravity
was
or what?
yeah,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
was like kind of like shadowy skulls going around and around and around, a whole bunch of them going around me.
No, I'm
So
just
that
joking. That's bad.
so that
Don't say that.
DMT was probably something similar where you're opened up where you can see some spirits. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, supposedly that we, as I have heard, our first experience of life and our last experience of life is a explosion of DMT. When we are birthed and when we die, it secretes in our spinal system. So I can't confirm that because I haven't passed away, but I'm pretty, I've heard that happening. And I do know we have it within our system. All these chemicals, they lay dormant within us. We just have to get to a certain stage of being for it to produce. Like, that's the complete truth. That, like, that's even broken down. I was watching that sick uploaded story yesterday where, like, these people who are doing those rituals, and they get to a certain point where the people who are tortured, um, they like excrete adrenaline because they're so scared, and that's when they drink that blood, right?
Yeah,
So
they're
yeah, like,
harvesting the energy.
yeah. Now it's just so real, man. Like, I forgot what I
It's
was
like
going to say about it. But yeah.
like the it's the what do you call it? The Albert Pike prophecy.
Fuck that motherfucker. And his eugenic
Yeah,
shit. Bitch
it's
ass.
like his thing was when you're sodomizing a little boy, they harvest that energy that's released.
Oh,
Pardon me,
okay.
that soul energy, and that's
Yeah.
what they do. And those creeps, and supposedly there's nothing like it. There's nothing above it for them as far as a high. Where when they're sodomizing a little kid and that spirit energy goes out of the child and they harvest it, so to speak.
And then, like, it happens to, oh, it's all different sorts, hey. I'm just like, you could go on a wide level. That's fucked up. I was thinking about something else before I got on that line, like, on that dirty way. Like, I was thinking, like, how it can be used positively. Nah, that's right. That's what I was talking about. We're talking about the DMT and the secretions. So these obviously lie dormant within us. So, like, that's a factor. These people get sick of the fact that we can produce these, crazy adrenaline shit when we're under this, psychotic experience, and then we're dying. But we pass away, unfortunately. But other things, and when we go for exercises, we can produce like massive amounts of other endorphins, and then when we meditate, and when, so many things. Just if we think about it, we can fucking do this shit, man. I don't
Yeah,
know about you.
and
But
if you don't eat a lot of sugar
yeah,
and you drink
plenty of
clear
water.
water,
Yeah, man. Alkaline
then
lifestyle all day.
you're if there's not a lot of
Fantastic.
shit in your system to block the flow of energy, like
Yeah,
if you don't
bro.
have a lot of salt or sugar or smoke,
You know,
then the energy
the
flows better.
toxins. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
There's no bullshit in the way for your body to try and get rid of and use up energy. It's just working in harmony. And even like when we pass, right? Like our feces and shit. It's just not many people here are listening to this or understand it, but it's a good comment that like when we pass, right, like it's not supposed to smell at all. So like literally, so from the food we're eating, like I heard this, so we're supposed to like we should be eating live vegetables and things like that, which are they're not gonna and we should be drinking a lot of water. It gets down to that. So when your feces stink, it's because you're not hydrated and the food you're eating is rotten and shit like that. It's most definite, and like you'll find that you need to be really hydrated, and then the amount the food. Because like I remember, have you heard of Dr. Sabi? Or no?
Sorry, say that last bit again.
Dr. Sabi. He's like a naturopath fella, but he was talking about like, see, he's pretty. Have you heard of him? No, heard of him. So what he was saying, he lives in Honduras, and he just passed away about 10 years ago. Actually, was
They killed him.
yeah, you know about him, right? Okay, so you know how like he's talking about his grandmother, how she was living in the forest, right? Like he's the people like his critics would be like, oh, your grandmother didn't, living in there naked. And like, yeah, she was naked, but she didn't have any disease. She didn't have any hospitals. She was happy. She did, she did all this shit good. And what he was saying in another sense is what they were eating all this shit from the jungle, nice, like, it's like natural food. So when they shit, it didn't stink. You know what I mean? I'm going off topic, but it's very true.
No, not off topic, I don't think.
Alkaline lifestyle. That's what it's about. I try to like, and where I'm at the moment, I'm moving out soon, hopefully. Like, I shouldn't mention it too much, but I really wanted to. I've got to just do it. But at the place I was at before, I was able to put a couple bit of food out, but the landlord was a fool. And now where I'm at, there's nectarines here, but like, it's not really great for growing stuff. Like, yeah, I at my parents' place. They used to really like. My dad's into that. He's from farm, so like so is my parents. Well,
I
you
got
get.
some goji berry growing here in my yard.
Oh, good on you,
You,
man.
you ever hear of
Is it
that?
going well? Is it growing well?
It grows really well.
Good on you.
It's
I've heard of it. I've heard it's a very good. I've seen it only dehydrated actually. I bought some. They reckon it's a health food.
yeah. I use the
How long have you
leaves.
had it growing? Oh, make a tea. Or just eat it.
About 10 years.
Do you find the difference? Oh, adrenal
Yeah,
gland. That's right. We
it's
gotta have
like
that.
I eat the leaves. I'll put them in soup, or even dry the leaves and make tea, and it just like you can feel the physical strength it gives you. It's unbelievable.
That's yeah. So and do you know what country of origin it's from?
Himalayan, I think.
Well,
It's
yeah.
also called Chinese wolfberry.
Okay. Yeah, man. Like I tried it once. I didn't. I guess I didn't have it for long enough. I was just like using it, and then I bought one packet because like at you got Aldi where you are.
What?
Aldi. It's like a shopping center supermarket, but um. Anyway, it's just it's a I think it's Swedish or something. It's one of these Scandinavian places, and they try to outdo the other supermarkets, the local Australian ones, and they have these
We
health food products called hemp seeds, and I bought heaps of it. But next to them was goji berries, so I bought a couple, and I mean, I bought two packets, and there's this other shit I got. I didn't finish it, but it was called. I've got it in my pantry. I could go have a look. It's like a
But for
purple.
the goji, I think the leaves is where the real power is.
Okay, yeah, most times, eh?
Just the new shoots and leaves. So it's like when the new shoots come out, it's like a vine. And when the new shoots come out, you can just snap them off. You know,
Yep. That's
the
good,
new
man.
shoots
Do
and
you make
the
a juice
leaves.
out of the berries at all, or what do you do with the berries? You just leave them?
They just eat them.
Yeah,
They
a
just
bit of
eat them
a
right
bit.
off the plant. It doesn't. It's not producing a lot of berries, but I just eat them off the plant because the
That's a bit
ants
of.
get in them right away. There's these little tiny ants that go after the berries right away. So I try to have to beat the ants to them.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, that's a good thing. That shows you if the ants are going for them, that means there's nutrients there, bro. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and I I have wild rabbits in my yard,
Yeah.
and
Oh wow.
I throw them stuff like the wild rabbits. They love banana peels. They eat banana
Really?
peels, but I go to the store and I buy certain stuff. Like I bought some zucchinis, some small zucchinis at the store, and I threw them
Yeah.
out there, and the rabbits didn't even touch them.
You know why?
The, so yeah, I didn't buy those anymore. If the rabbits don't like them, I don't buy them.
No, I said yeah, exactly, bro. Cause that shit.
Yeah, and there's this
God
one
damn
store. It's like
rabbits. I'm looking down. What's this?
this one big store we have here. It's really gone downhill recently. Like all the produce is sick. It all has this brown spots on it. Doesn't matter what it is. Lemons, apples. It's like
True
everything's
that.
sick at that store.
Disgusting. You know what I mean? You got to get it at it, yeah, because they pick it about 3 months or maybe 3 weeks before it's ready. So it ripens while it's driving in the truck, sitting on the shelf. So it's rotten and shit, man. Produce
And
that
here's
you
another
get at the
thing.
supermarket are not.
Here's another thing.
Yes, my brother.
At that store, you know how the apples and everything they all have the little sticker on them.
Yes.
Well, that those stickers make the fucking fruit sick by design.
Yes, because it's plastic and it is made up of a petroleum base, and it's just
I,
seeping into the skin.
yes, when I buy the fruit, I bring it home and I pull the stickers off it right away. And then a couple days later, when I eat the apple, I can see where the sticker was, and the apple is sick about half an inch into the apple. You can see where the sick sticker was, and something was going into the apple from the sticker, some kind of fungus or something.
Fungus, humongous fungus. Yeah. So who lives? Who? What? How are your neighbors, bro? What are your neighbors like?
It's weird around here. Everything's shifting around here. Like it's weird. Just
Answer the
two
question,
houses over,
motherfucker.
they knocked down these old houses and they put up these apartment blocks, and it's like
Oh, so you don't have neighbors now.
yeah,
you got
and
like an apartment block next to you, but it's not even next to you. It's a couple places away.
yeah. There's a couple little houses
Nice.
beside me, and yeah, the original owner of the house died, and the big gay guy across the street bought it and was renting it out. I think they had some fucking police agents. They were working out of there, like undercover assholes. So, but they're gone now. I kind of,
What were they there for?
yeah, just, I don't know. They were some kind of agents anyway. It's like they were, they have these agents that go onto construction sites. I don't know if they install data, spyware into the building or what, but they're spying on the job too. And yeah, it's like there's all kinds of fucking agencies around. They're even like dog walking agencies, and they use children as props and everything. It's disgusting.
Yeah. What a time. Well, it's fantastic, and I'm like gonna bust out of here. Are you gonna get? Oh no, that's right. Hey, so yeah, bro. Like, you got the computer, yeah, or the phone?
I just have tablets.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you could do it. There's probably numerous ways, but I use StreamYard and fucking like it just comes on the bottom of my like. I'll go to Google and then when you open up Chrome, type it in. And when it's because it's at the bottom of my thing, and then you can just press it, and then like you set it up a little bit so you go like the title and whatnot. I'm not doing it very well, but yeah.
Is it in Play Store?
Maybe, but maybe not. It could be like its thing of its own. It might be. I don't know if it's like an app. It's just like a. It could be though. Fuck, I'm not really sure. I don't know how I got it, but it just automatically opens up. Now that I did it once, it kind of just like it's at every time I open up Google Chrome, there's this little thing under. You know how like they might have a YouTube icon. Yeah, it probably is in fucking Google. I mean Play or whatever it is, because there's a little icon for it. So press that, good to go. And then there's OBS. I'm gonna try and learn that, and then I'll be able to like do some tutorials and shit. It's a good way to go, man. People have been doing it, and it's been on that level. You can get out of so many different avenues. You can, but you gotta be serious and meditate. Like try and elevate people, but be honest and authentic about it. Don't talk nonsense. Talk realistic, and link with like-minded people. Like, try not to suffocate those that need to breathe.
Right.
But in yeah, just fucking do that.
Hey, check out this drum.
No.
See, it's how it's shaped like an hourglass.
Yeah.
Now I turn it sideways, and it's a weapon.
Whoa, bro. Twisted mind of Clowny Productions, man. C. Lowney. Turning objects of rhythmic vibration, galactical energy into weapons. Not weapons, but they are weapons. We are all fine. We're having fun. We're just killing. Peace to all out there. He's jingling away. What we got? Yeah, much thanks for hitting the like all the way through, man. I'm gonna try and do this shit. I just figured out this one. We got 20 hours on this, but I got the OBS cranking slowly. But just living life, and because we got the new one in there, I don't know if this no condoning of explicit narcotic material, but this is adult only footage. The disclaimer has been said, not children. Please be aware. So, and I did do a reading earlier. If you get into, we got the clarinet of this beautiful Bible. So I'll do some more continuation on that. get the equipment going. What's my man doing there with his clarinet? It's like boo doo ch ch boo ch doo ch. This is for the newcomer. Just that. 1950s radio. Jazz funk. Straight for your mind. What you can feel. KBLLM 750.
The Sunray Variety Show. You smoking some weed?
Nah, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I quit. I quit for a few days. I had to take a break. So I'm
Yeah, man, it's good for the tolerance and shit, eh? My mate was telling me
sweating at night.
Oh yeah, I'm not having much dream and shit, but I just love it, fucking. And like, my mate was going to have a 1 month off, go cold turkey. You'll see how much difference it makes. But all I got to
Yeah.
say is herbs are the healing of the nations, bro. Most definitely. And once I get into this, they are, bro. And Australia is so far behind.
I'm a hog when it comes to weed. Like I'll just smoke it up, until it's gone. I can't put it away, so I just have to quit for a while. I'll go back to it, but
yeah, good on you, man. I mean, and there's also different ways to consume it. You don't always have to soak it up. And actually, this young blood spirit light body, man. He did this one of first streams the other day, and he was saying like he caught a bit like he was talking about when you get to the joint, you don't have to smoke it all, man. Just smoke that little. If you get to the point you need to smoke out, so just have a toke. You don't have to like have the whole joint get blazed out, or if you need a drink, just have a sip. You don't have to have the whole bottle and get blurred out. Like it's way true, man. If you get into that element, I've always thought that, but I tend to be the one that gets like burnt out. I'll just smoke it to the fullest, man. I'll smoke 15, like I'll smoke 3 or 4 rolls straight up, 3 or 4 cones in a row. I just get smashed, even if it's high grade. But when it's supreme high grade, I do you can't really you 1, 2, 3 of those is like enough.
yeah, it's a law of diminishing returns.
Yeah, man, but when you get that, oh, I love my weed, baby. I want to see fucking if everybody else likes weed. If you like weed, clap your hands. So if everybody around the world just clap their hands, then we in the house. Not around the world, but at some point in time when they see this. It has been like pretty long-winded, been going on for a while, but should be figured out. That's why I'm just trying to get my man C. Is it C Loney or Clowny Productions?
Yes.
Either or.
Yeah, I've had that one on there for a while. I might put something different next time.
That's either cool. Fucking yeah. I mean, yeah. I'll tell you that one thing though. I'm gonna trying to stream, get on the right thing. Just get on over, like both ways. I'm gonna try and get my music out there first, on tutorial basis and live performance, but also having this open jam portal session, just vibing. People want to, talk their minds straight, let them be, try and step together onto new platforms with each other's information.
See, I don't even have my own internet. I'm picking up a Wi-Fi from about a block away.
That's right. So we do what we do.
So I don't pay for my internet, eh?
And the vibration is allowing it.
So that's why I have the tablet on the floor, because that's the only place it'll pick the Wi-Fi up.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it gets to those some situations sometimes. But entertainment is enabling, so you've got unlimited from that position. So it seems. Unlimited internet access. It's good to see. I wonder why Huey, my brother, hasn't come back, or the drop hasn't entered the room. One day they'll come across. But it's
Probably
good to
busy.
see. No. I'm sure they're just like making some beats, or that. Or he's trying to get that money he owes him. Because if he moves too fast, he's gonna bust that ass. uh, um, Did you see that? It's pretty dope editing, I'd say that most definitely, and his rhymes are dope. But the story's true shit, so it's pretty fuck shit. So you need to get it back. It's been a year, motherfucker. So we got one fucking yeah, man. I'm just like vibing out. Are you gonna go live, man? It's your turn to go live.
Yeah, I'll try to figure that out. But
Nah, I'm just joking.
sometimes the internet isn't, like, the signal isn't that good. It seems like when what's that?
Shit, I shouldn't have done that way. Should have done it this way.
What's that?
It's lean, man.
I can't read it.
Those rappers, they talk about lean. Nah, it's actually
The gangster lean.
yeah, it's the gangster lean.
Digging the scene with the gangster lean.
I'm got gangster lean by the fucking bottle loads, bro. Nah, just joking. That's just joking. This is all um, pharmaceutical supplied and prescribed medication for my feet. I have
For your
a problem.
feet.
Yes, I have a problem with the section in between my pinky toe on the right side as I broke it when I was playing basketball as a teenager. I ripped it in half and it like fucking made a real fucked up scar. So for pretty much the rest of my no, actually hopefully not, but until the infection is gone, I have to drink this shit. But yeah. And also consume these
What's that?
tablets. Do you believe me?
I guess.
Ha
I don't
ha.
I don't go to the doctor.
Good on you. I'm trying
I
not
haven't
to. So.
I haven't been to a doctor in more than 20 years.
That's congratulations. Yeah, I've just yeah. Unfortunately, I'm under the doctor's fucking spell, as some may say, at the moment. But I've just tried to lower the ability to have power over me. So I'm on my first step, but it's gonna take a while. Like the quickest I do it, it will take 4 or 5 months. But fuck, if I'm probably thinking more like 6 months to a year. But it depends. See how I go. I do really want to change it and bike. You'll see a difference hopefully, bro. I gotta even fucking start moving around, bro. I gotta start like you know, like getting on my thing. I've never really been into like fucking like what doing gym work. I walked around a lot and I was able to like you know hop fences and climb buildings and like not walls and shit, but I didn't like do weights and none shit like that at all ever. But I should try and do that. I think it's about time. I just never thought it was cool, but in the way
I never really got into weightlifting or. I love sports, so I
Yeah.
played soccer and ran track.
Yeah, yeah. Like I played a bit of sports and shit. Like, but it was also about the like I think in the peer thing. It was kind of like at that time it was cool to take drugs, right? When I was in high school, and then at this time when after about the next generation, it was kind of cool to go to the gym and be a straight edge. I was like way into my drug thing, and I never got into. It's cool to go to the gym, and then that lasted for a while, and I think now it's coming back a little bit. It's cool to sort of be the not so Jimmy guy, but
Do you
still
have
be
you
Jimmy.
where you are, Sunray?
I have forests like Mr. Gump. No, I'm just joking. Forest in what's sort of like it's crazy because there's different types of forest. No, not really though. If I go for about, we've got bushland, right? We've got bushlands and
It's like
highlands around here, but
dry,
at where I'm
dry
from,
land, sort of.
yeah, there would be koalas and like kangaroos and shit, throwing snakes and stuff like gum trees, eucalypts, big tall like them and bushes. But at the top of Queensland, where I'm from Brisbane, that's kind of the lower part. But when you go to the tip of Queensland, there's a point in this world which is it's the one and the only. It's called the Daintree Rainforest. Now that's where the rainforest meets complete saltwater ocean beach. Like it's quite a phenomenon. It's also where you find the cassowaries and things like that. You can find it in Papua New Guinea too, but it's quite amazing. So we don't have that where I'm at. There's no rainforest, but this is up tropical Queensland, and it beaches like it comes onto the Pacific Ocean. It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. So it's like the Amazon, and then just straight out white sand and blue water. But bit tripping. Fucking where I'm at now, it's pretty bare. Like like, not bare. Actually, I shouldn't say that. It's quite beautiful, really. I'm in it's like a major city of the southern um, part of Australia, most southern central part, and like about 10 minutes I could get in the car. 10 minutes drive. I'm at a beach. Not much wave activity, but very calm. You know, from as far as you can see, it's you know facing west. Um, you could go along that coastline for 40 minutes, and then if I was to go, so that's 10 minutes drive west, and if I was to go 40 minutes the other way, you'd be going into like highlands. You go into the Adelaide Hills, it's kind of a region, and then it's pretty. You get shit like yeah, like if you start seeing that actually, like there's a few environmental spots, and my mate took me out when I first got here. Take about 20 minutes out of the city, and the difference from Brisbane, where I was from, that's quite built up. It's like just you go 20 minutes, you start seeing that red ochre sand. That Australia is quite famous for, and it's just everywhere. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, and you were saying that Perth is the most isolated big city in the world or something?
Yeah, I've heard that. So like I could be pretty sure on that because people say that around makes a bit of sense. Nothing else is around it. It's probably like the most like yeah the size of it's the most isolated too.
That where the gays all go?
Nah, like Perth actually, like I've never been there. A few of my friends been there. It's not too far from me. It's like on the complete western side, but they've had a referendum through their history, and they've wanted to, because they had a mining boom during the 70s and 80s, and they thought their economy was good enough, and they wanted to become a country of their own. But it failed.
Huh.
It failed. I think they did it twice. Something I could be wording it wrong. A lot of people might, this is, but that's just the story. And yeah, I mean, they've got a thriving sort of little bit of tourism, seafood, but Western Australia is based on the mining up the top northern region. Um, I think, yeah. I mean, I should get more involved in it, really. I didn't as a child. I was very into my music, and I was going to, yeah, but anyway, we'll not get into that. We'll start talking about things such as, what are you going to have for dinner, my brother? Have you ever
What am I
thought of
gonna have?
having, yeah, have you thought of the menu for this evening, or you already had dinner?
I now I don't. I stopped eating meat about a year and a half ago,
Right.
and I don't eat. I don't even eat dairy or cheese or wheat. I just kind of snack. I eat dried seaweed and fruit and nuts. Uh, I fry potatoes sometimes.
Okay. What about
Yeah,
breakfast?
yeah. I
Same
like
thing.
to take a
Yeah.
frying pan and I put nuts and pumpkin seeds
Yeah.
and oatmeal and I toast it in a pan. You know?
Do you have dairy, like coconut milk, or just like milk?
Coconut milk.
Yeah, that's the best, man. Coconut is the like tree of life, brother. Literally, that is what it's called in the Fijian Islands. The tree, and
Yeah,
all these Pacific Islands, the tree of
I
life.
buy
What
the
is
coconut milk in
yeah,
a can. I buy the kind without
yeah.
sulfites.
That's okay. That's best. I mean, I guess that's what you can do without the sulfite. Very good idea. All these heard of the sulfites are whack ass, but dack ass. But coconut, a fresh young coconut, you husk it, you rough it, right, and then you'll get little pieces of shredded coconut. All you do, mix a little bit of water and you start pressing it, and you press it through, and you end up with this beautiful, rich coconut milk. I'm sure. Have you been aware of that? I don't know.
One thing I like is
That stuff in the tin is good.
I'll
It's
take
fucking good, mate. I
I'll
prefer
take
coconut milk. Anyway.
nuts. I'll take
Yeah.
nuts and dates and pumpkin
Oh, yum.
seeds and poppy seeds and
Oh,
sesame
yum.
seeds, and I'll
Yeah.
fry them up in a pan. I'll press the dates into the poppy seeds and sesame seeds and
Yeah.
nuts
You
and
need the
pumpkin
sugar
seeds,
to come
right?
out of the date, so there's a bit of sweetness. If you're not adding sugar, I'm a bit of a fan with my sugar because I'm on my cannabis, but you know what I'm saying. Sorry, sorry to interrupt. That sounds beautiful. Poppy seeds, dates, coconut milk. Not poppy seeds, pumpkin seeds,
Yeah, pumpkin
dates.
seeds, poppy seeds, sesame seeds, nuts, oatmeal, and dates, and I'll fry it all together in the pan, right? And I squish the dates into
And then you
so all
put the
this,
milk afterwards, or do you cook it all together?
or just eat it like a snack after it's I'll put it in a jar and just eat it like granola.
So there you have it, everybody. That's a beautiful tip there for whenever you're feeling peckish. Just go and prepare some beautiful, fresh things that you can have. I don't want to call them like. What are they called? What's another word for nuts? Like, I suppose you could look at the camera too, because everyone's looking at me. You could be like,
Seeds.
Seeds, that's right. Have some beautiful seeds and dried fruit, slightly roasted over some delicious moderate flame to some moderate flame to deliciously caramelize them, and you can enjoy them with some pure fresh coconut milk to get all
Yeah,
the goodness.
even if you just toast oatmeal in a pan, I used to make oatmeal, boil it with water, right? Make a gruel. But now I just toast the oatmeal in a pan with some little bit of salt and put some dates and nuts in there and put coconut milk and eat it like cereal.
All right.
It's nice and crispy. Put some oil in the pan and toast it up.
What's the time? Yeah, now we're out of here. It's getting a bit long-winded, bro.
But since I stopped eating meat, I hardly have to eat anything at all. I just eat a little bit and it gives me enough energy.
Yeah, that's good. So you can work off that. I think I've heard some people who eat vegetarian, they have to like have regular intermittent, you know, eating. I'm kind of on that level. If I went on that without meat, I've got to eat a lot. I've got a high metabolism, a quick metabolism, fast metabolism. Sorry, so it's like if I'm eating not meat, I've got to eat like 6, 7 times. You know, have small little meals a lot to get through the day instead of just having a big smash out meal. I think. But that would be the same that you're talking about. I think just eat. Oh no, you're saying just have one thing to do the day and last day. I think that is a job. I'm just trying to get healthy and do the right thing. But anyway,
I eat a
what's
lot of dried seaweed.
what? Oh,
Like
that's right. That's
I
good
buy the
for you.
sheets of dried seaweed.
I
It's
think
for
it's
making
good for
sushi,
everyone.
but I just eat it like it is.
What do they call it? Naughty. Naughty. Isn't that what it's called?
No, what? Dried seaweed?
Yeah, the sushi wrap. I'm pretty sure it's called nori.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm pretty
It's just
sure.
called roasted seaweed.
Yeah, but if you go ask a Japanese person, I think he might say nori. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. He might just be like, it's called dry seaweed, fool. When you have dry seaweed, you have a little bit of yeah. But what's your favorite sort of? Do you have any brothers and sisters, bro?
Yeah, it says nori. You're right.
See, you underestimated me, fool. Nah, I'm just joking. I knew I was right. Um, yeah, that's what the Japanese term for that beautiful seaweed goodness is. But yeah, sea moss, all these plants under the earth, man. I mean, under the sea, that are full of life. They got to be great for you. We have very slight knowledge about such matters. You know. But that's it. Good showing, everybody. This will. I wish I sort of knew how to make yours the big one.
We wish you knew how to make what?
Like to get yours to be the whole screen. You know what I mean? Like, so there's a few options here on my StreamYard thing. I'll put like, I could put you on. Yeah.
Well, when I watched those other streams like Huey's, where the guys are putting their illustrations up, I
Yeah,
just I just expand the screen with my fingers to where the guy is, eh? You can expand the screen on each to whatever you want to see there. I'm just up in my attic. I moved my TV upstairs into the attic, and it's just a jumble up here.
the jungles sometimes we make them wonder how people go without. I'm just joking. But so we've been up in here for about 2 hours, 21 minutes, kicking in effect. Um, yeah, man, I'm gonna bust it out of here, but much fucking pleasure talking. I'm gonna get to learn this thing. I'm sure I'll see you here on the next on the flip.
Yeah.
What do you got? You got any plans for the day?
Not
Oh, no,
really.
you gotta go to sleep soon. Yes, that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to like.
I might watch the football game a little bit.
Oh yeah. Do you get into email? Do you do email?
I have email, but I don't really use it a lot.
Oh,
I don't really have a use for it. Eh?
true that. Why not?
Oh, I don't know.
Should man make use of it?
There's just some YouTube channels I like to watch.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'll put them in the chat. The channels I like to watch.
Yeah, do it. If you want, check it out. I'll give him a check out. All right. Well, fucking very good. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't end it on like. Yeah, I think so. I'll should sum it up a little bit because this is like first time 2020. Got in with good vibes here. Sunray AK. Hey, Nima Brown on the sound. Where I get to the thing, it's like this. So it's like Canada Dummy with these great quotes of I wonder if history there is a false narrative of violence as it is here. The rail systems and tunnels were there before 1850, just like here. You know what I mean? I'm just like bring this up. And a great just a great quote from a lot of people. And here, just shout out to Mind's Eye. Can my man come through? Wife free, oriented, grand my Nefa, man. Like I think they're all bounced out. But whoever checks this thing in the future, um, much peace always, man. Live bright, be the best you can be. Be brilliant. We are beautiful. We are brilliant. Be the best you can. Right? Follow your intuition. Make a path, make a plan, make a goal, make your moves. Think before you move. Of course. Be realistic. And I'll see you soon. I hope to. Much blessings to all out there. Right? That's how I do it. I stay high grade. We stay off fade. 2020 is coming. It's gonna be gone soon. So let's live it. Keep a diary.